The idea of surrender is interesting because it's a word that has a stickiness to it. And in fact, there's a lot of programming that we have that is about not surrendering, never give up. Some had parents that just told them, never give up, no matter what. Keep trying, never give up. And so as a pointer, there are other, maybe more energetically comfortable phrases. Letting go, which is slightly softer than surrendering, I guess. Allowing is apparently even softer. All of those words and phrases can be helpful in awakening, but they're ultimately not it. There's no one who surrenders. There's no one who lets go. There's no one who allows everything to be as it is. There is just this. During seeking, there's this apparent looking, searching for messages, hints, tips, methods to get to another place, to find home. And there's an understanding here that it can be frustrating to hear some talk about surrendering, allowing, letting go, acceptance, while others are saying there's no one that surrenders. There's such a paradox in language and even in these pointers, although some of them can be very helpful. I'll put a link in the description, but I listened to an adyashanti talk or segment of a talk a while ago called Surrender or Suffer. And at the time, that was very, very useful because it was the choice between two apparently shitty things. Surrender to what is, or you suffer. Feel not awesome. And yet, upon discovery that there is no separate self, there is no suffering, there's no one who suffers, and there is no surrendering because it just is. So it really just depends. If surrender feels okay, then as a pointer, then there's an opportunity to use it. If the feeling of letting go, and both of those have this element of action. You know, there's a part of surrender that surrender implies resistance. It implies that there is resistance there, and then all of a sudden it's just not. The same with letting go. It applies a grasping or an attachment. Implies an attachment or a grasping, and then there's this activity that happens. Allowing is a little more flow-like and gentle, and so that can also be helpful. But all of those have the implication of one who does those things, one who participates in those activities to get to this other place. There isn't a place to get to. There isn't another side. There isn't a happening that needs to be surrendered to. In what is, there is no resistance. There's nothing to grasp. There's nothing to grab a hold of that can then be let go. It's as if to say, it could be said, a branch doesn't surrender to the tree. A wave doesn't surrender or doesn't allow the ocean to be. They just are. Pointers and tools can be helpful. I have a lot of gratitude for attempts made to talk about, guide, teach this, things that can be done to get here. And even that, it's a concession. There is no here. There's just this. There's always been just this. This has always been what it is. And it's so simple and it's so clear. And yet there's a memory of it being at a distance. One night actually after watching that listening to that adyashanti clip, that night until I fell asleep, I just repeated over and over, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, like a mantra, just going deeper and deeper into sleep. And I hesitate to say something helped or it didn't help because I just don't know. It's just something that happened. And so if the feeling of having a mantra of I surrender, I'm allowing, I'm letting go, if that appears to be helpful, then do it. Do anything that appears to assist until the seeking stops, until it is seen that there is nothing to get, there's nowhere to go, there's no practice that will help you arrive at a place. There's no suggestion here that words shouldn't be used, that words aren't allowed, because they are. But what you are, your true nature, is perfect. There is nothing else required, nothing else needed to get to another place. So surrender, let go, allow, accept, do nothing. Everything is allowed and nothing is required.